All right, guys, back again with some Squarebody content. This could be a pretty good informative FYI and a little bit of learning and a little bit of a walk around of a cool build. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we're gonna do a little concentration on this truck because getting ready to go to its next stage of upgrades, and I wanted to capture it while we had a quick minute, hoping to not pause. All right, back at it again, phone's on silent, sorry guys. It's fifth phone call within the last 10 minutes. So this Chevrolet is getting ready to go to its next stage of process, sitting beside the other beautiful truck there. And we're gonna go into a whole video about building and not shortcutting things and some of the different ways things go. But the main part of this video is gonna be about this particular truck. So this truck was not ever online. A lot of you guys saw it in some TikToks and some other little shorts and reels, and it went over very well. And it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful truck. Just like everybody, I encouraged the customer that was interested in it to fly in. He called, he said, hey, I've got kind of a budget. I kind of know what I'm looking for in a truck. I really want to go with you guys because you know what you're doing. I don't care if it's one you've got now, one you got coming. These are my ideas. So I quickly snapped him 15 or 20 pictures of this truck. He said, yeah, that'll work. So told him what we were planning on doing, what we had done. He said, man, I can get a flight. I'm not that far. He's from Missouri. And I said, cool. Pick a flight, pick a time. We'll pick you up. AJ picked him up at the airport, brought him in here. And he was, you know, kind of still on the fence of which truck to buy, what to buy. So he looked at this truck. The black truck was on hold and still kind of is on hold. But I wanted him to see the difference between the steering and the track bar. He immediately drove this one and liked the way it ran and drove as far as the drivetrain, but the steering, because it's still steering off the left side, we call it. Then you say, how come you didn't do the upgrade? You guys are the king of steering and track bar and all that, and you swear by it. Well, yes, we do. But in this case, this truck had all new components. Some of it was powder coated, some of it was jet hot coated, some of it was painted. And in doing that, a lot of that stuff has to be redone. So, and it was fine. It does work like it's supposed to. That's how trucks were built forever. So I told Daniel, I said, don't worry about that on this one. Let's kind of keep it as good as we can, keep the cost effective as we can. Still an expensive truck because it's a show truck. It's a frame off build. And here's a picture of the frame off. Remind me, I gotta send you that, AJ. Because you're gonna be like, what are you talking about? He's back there just looking confused. So power steps, we're basically emulating all this custom stuff that we changed and did on this truck. So instead of steering on the left any longer, now it's going to steer on the right. It's going to have the track bar, also going across to the right. It's going to have the power steps. So there's no better way to show the man an example than right here. So he drove this truck with AJ once again. AJ was able to spend most of the time. It was a busy day, unfortunately, that he came. I had multiple customers. I wasn't able to dedicate as much time as I wanted, but that's fine. He got to go down to the shop. He got to talk about the differences. He got to pick out the color of what he wanted to do. Him and Daniel talked over some different ideas of things. Him and AJ drove both trucks and kind of made a decision. So next step on this truck, because you guys like following along with some of these builds. This was an air-conditioned equipped truck, no different than this truck was, but everything is gone. The compressor's gone, the lines are gone. So we're going to do a CVF. Well, we could just put a compressor on it, but it's a big block. The bracketry's different, mounting it's different. V-belt is a thing of the past, so we really want to go to a serpentine system. So in doing that, not only did we have to go to a serpentine belt system with all the billet brackets and the compressor, but we're going to have to do the lines and condenser and, you know, put all new O-rings and everything as we do it. So it's going to get that. It's going to get the power steps. Currently the dome light is probably not wired because most of the time when people take the interior of these trucks apart, just like the black one, they gut wires out. So we're going to figure that out because we need that working properly. But we never really gave you guys a tour around this truck to see how cool and how custom all the little finishing touches are. Black interior, custom door panels, dark tinted windows, all finished in here. And again, when I was sending this guy this picture, I fell in love with it all over again myself just because of the fact of how nicely it was done. They did a good job. You know, the striker, the washers, the way the two-tone runs in. It really turned out amazing. So that was awesome. So it's going to go get the AC done. We're going to do the CVF, power steering pump, clean up some lines under there, get the AC working, get that operating properly. It doesn't have a drip now, but when they were driving it, and of course this is a basically brand new build, so it had no break-in time on anything, but there is no drip currently, but they did see a drip, so we're going to check that out for them. Could just be something that wasn't snugged up in the install. It's a big block motor, and again, I think AJ probably put the first 20 or 30 miles on it with this customer that ever been put. Heat worked really well, and it was a cold day, so y'all see in my breath, we're probably 20 degrees in here, just so you know. It's cold. AJ shivering back there, trying to keep the camera held steady. So, got the DOR wheels, 8-inch lift, 35s, 16 wide wheels. This was the first set of the spoked 8 lugs. So he's got something that's kind of still one off. Now you will see in the back, why does it have a block? You guys know we go back and forth about springs and blocks and everything else. Well, this has a heavy set of 3/4 1-ton style springs in the back. This truck was not this size when the original build was planned, but those are painted or powder coated, whatever they've done. They've been disassembled, they're clean, they're proper. It's not going anywhere. You're not going to spit that block out. Would we love to put a set of 8-inch springs in the back? Sure, but then the springs have got to be powder coated, just more cost for no real reason in this truck. And of course, the straighter a spring is, in most cases, the better it's going to ride. It does have the front, which did have a block under the front. We changed that out. Now it has no block in the front, all spring, had the springs powder coated to match, got the greasable shackle bolts. You can see the ceramic coated headers. We'll show you guys under the hood when it comes back. So once you see it all finished, well, might as well show it to you now so you can see a little before and after. What a beautiful big block, all finished off under the hood. Firewall's been painted, nice clean run brake lines, the big old headers, ceramic coated or jet hot coated, whatever the term is these days. The bottom of the hood is finished off just as clean as the top of the hood. Stainless hardware all across everywhere. Just a really, really clean build. Really nice. Of course, you know we always love our little sticker right here, but that's long since gone. So once it's finished, it'll be on a cert belt system. Everything will be cleaned up under here. It'll all be billet brackets. AJ's getting ready to pick that stuff up now so we can get that on there. And he's going to leave with functional AC because he is in an area where air conditioning is important, just like it is here. We got 3 or 4 months of hot, so he needs it. You look back behind the grill, you can see everything's finished off real nice back there, all color matched. And again, don't like teasing you guys with these trucks until they're actually ready. This one was at that median point. I just had to go over that with a couple customers yesterday. So the last 5 trucks that we've sold, back-to-back, customers have wanted to do more upgrades, just like this one. Steering, track bar, steps, some tire and wheel changes, some performance changes, different things. So unfortunately, you know, we're very realistic with our timelines, and we have to push that back. So the next customer that calls, he's going to be behind those because we can't just butt in front. We try to keep it very fair in the order which it comes. And fortunately, most of the recent customers have traveled here. We like the customers to come, touch, feel, look at, make sure the truck's what you want, because I don't want it to show up and it not be what you wanted. The last statement I always make, and all my guys are trained to make, is, are you sure we can't get you any more pictures or videos? Because also 50% of the people don't come here. We've had 2 Suburbans recently, when I say recently, within the last week, a couple work trucks, rollback or 2, sold sight unseen. We want you to see everything. We want to walk around it. We want to FaceTime you. We want to do whatever we can to show you what you're looking at. But if you can travel, that's even better. We'll pick you up. This guy had a great experience. He is no stranger to very high-end vehicles and custom vehicles, trucks, cars. He's got a huge business that he owns and runs. And he was very appreciative of how straightforward we were, how accommodating we were, and how we followed through on showing everything. You know, if there's a little spot or this or that, we want you guys to see it. You know, again, a 40-year-old truck can have a lot of things, but when you're buying a basic show truck, you kind of expect it to be as perfect as possible. So we want to give you as perfect as possible. Another little difference between these 2 trucks, some people ask, 8 lug 3/4 ton, 8 lug 1 ton, as far as the Dana 60 axle versus the Dana 44 or tent bolt. Steering can be done both ways, and unless you're going out jumping hills or doing mud bogs, the 8 lug is perfectly fine. I ran that same axle under my personal, we'll get into a whole video about this because this was a huge controversy back in the day. I ran 54-inch tires on an axle just like that. Now I did step up to the Dana 60 when I could afford it, but I ran an 8 lug, I think I had a 10 bolt, Daniel O'Brien will remember for sure. I put wheel bearings in it. I did finally crossover steering it. I had 20 some inches of lift running 54-inch tires still on one of those axles, and it did fine, and the 4x4 worked. So anyway, we'll get into that a whole nother day. Beautiful truck, getting ready to leave to get a few finishing touches done, and Daniel and Brian are gonna Mac Daddy out the rest, and we're gonna make sure this man ends up with a beautiful finished product. But I want you guys to see it right here, flesh and blood, the real deal. Beautiful, beautiful truck. We'll bring you some more about the black one and some differences and some upgrades because that's their basic sample truck currently for all of the upgrades and things we do. And I'm also gonna pick 2 or 3 of these trucks that were very nice frame off builds and just go over some things as you guys are doing your frame off builds, some recommendations, you know, from what we see that always gets overlooked or overlapped. Just like on this truck, one quick thing, you'll see the cross member. A lot of people go to the big block, they cut their cross member or change their cross member. You'll notice this one here has the tubular cross member under there. You gotta duck down just a little bit more. Here we go. We also powder coated that to match, so it would be as perfect as possible. And again, I'll show you some of the build photos of this truck. It'll really make you appreciate when I say a nut bolt frame off. When you look at the pictures, you'll see what we're talking about. So thanks guys, appreciate it. AJ's gonna drop the pictures in. We're gonna have a good video coming here for you.